Hi everyone, it's Marissa, aka Celeste Orchid. Do you like my hat? I just got this at the goth store downtown and oh my god, it's so cute. It's November and what worst thing happened? Yeah, it's no longer Halloween. That means get everything for cheap. That was Halloween decorations, everything cute that you really loved, and then you can still turn it into something nice. As you saw in one of my past videos, I still have this glow-in-the-dark spider. I also have this LED light set. I wanted to make sure that this string lights LEDs worked. These are actually little bats, and we're going to be using this in a choker in the tutorial today. Last but not least, I actually found these really cool skeletons, and they're glow-in-the-dark. So let's get started. The first project that we have is jewelry boxes, and I mean these are travel jewelry boxes because these are small. This is meant for Christmas traveling days or anytime you have to travel. These are nice. The first box that I got, the white one, is a keychain box, and the second one is a wallet box. I'm going to be decorating these with the Halloween goods that I got. So the first box, we're going to be using ribbon and hot glue. This ribbon is really cute. It has a design that goes one way and is repeating. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to measure it out across and a little bit lengthwise so it covers the edge, and that way it doesn't get frayed on. I want a nice crisp edge on the top. Once you have that measurement, go ahead and cut out a few more pieces using that same piece. And it doesn't matter if it's not the same length. If it's not the same length, then that's all right. It's just going to go over the edge. Don't make it go too far over the edge because then you just got cut too much, just don't do that. So we're actually going to be hot gluing this down from the side and then on top of the front and then the side again. This is going to hide the edging, all the white parts of the box, and it's going to hide the text just in case there's a lot of fine text. As you can see, I'm just gluing it down and slowly pressing. You don't have to rush this project. It's just very simple. It took me a total of maybe like 5 minutes to do this. And just keep going slowly. Otherwise you might get like a giant hot glue bubble, and that's not really that fun, but it's not hard to rub off either. But as you can see, example, this is me alternating the ribbon, so one side's going up and the other side is going down. That way it just gives it a different pattern and a different look. And like I said, if you do get a hot glue bubble, just wait for it to dry a little bit and then rub it away with your hand. You don't have to do anything special. It's just plastic, That's what hot glue is, melted plastic. And just rub it. Now I'm going to show you how to do this side. Cut like one last strip if you need to, it's okay. Go ahead and apply it first onto the top of the box and hot glue it down. Once you have the hot glue down, slowly and perfectly start aligning this. This is probably the hardest part. Just slowly align it the right way that you need to, so it's like the right way. And then slightly press it down. Don't shift anything. Don't go too hard. Then push down the side, and I mean the contrasting length side, not the short side. And so just hot glue that and then fold in the edges. I went the extra step and I covered the whole bottom again with a really long piece of ribbon. I didn't cut it until the final edges. And this is what the end jewelry box looks like. The bottom of the box did not have any text, so I didn't have to cover it, and I didn't want it to have any problems. But this is DIY number 1. This next jewelry case is actually a spider with its eggs. So I'm using this wallet case, and I'm already glued down a few of the legs and the spider itself just to set it in place. I'm also going to be using these black pearl beads and some wire to make the spider eggs. Go ahead and cut a piece of wire and then start by beading one bead on the end and then twist the edge of that wire around the bead. This way it'll secure the bead and nothing will fall off like a big giant disaster, and then you can go forward with beading the rest of the beads on. So as you know, you just keep beading. Once you get to a desired length of beads, then you just wrap it around your spider. This is only testing it, haha, just kidding. So you're going to test it, and I liked how it looked. I don't want it to be completely like above it. So I went ahead and like threaded back into the main bead and then started adding more beads, and I wrapped it around itself, kind of giving it a little bit more depth percussion. And I wrapped it around itself and then added more beads. Once I was happy with the way that the beads looked, I cut off the tail excess, and as you can see, I'm making a second one for the other side. I didn't want the spider to be over its eggs like it's eating it. I didn't want it to look like caviar, so oops. See, that's what I'm talking about, spilling beads. You don't want that to happen. So anyways, back up. And now I've finished the other one, and now it's just time to glue it in place. Like, just make sure that it's the way you want before your last step, and obviously place a little bit of hot glue. Wait, hold on. Something's broken. I gotta fix this. Okay. And here we are. Place a lot of hot glue. What was I thinking? You place a lot of hot glue on the back side and firmly press down as much as you can between your spider legs. And you do this on this side. And don't worry if there's like hot glue spewing out. That's all right, because it just gives to the look of like webbing and such. But it's kind of underneath and hidden, so perfection is not key here, but as long as you had fun. So this is what it looks like with the finished pearls on it. You don't have to do the pearls. That was just an extra step that I liked. And of course, glue down and secure the legs. This is really important because if you're traveling with this case like I am, you want the spider to be as secure as possible. Otherwise, the legs might rip off, causing the spider to get ripped off. You don't want the legs to get pulled off anywhere inside your luggage. It could happen. And you just want to be safe with it. So go ahead and start gluing down all the little feet, which shouldn't take no time at all. Just give it a little bit of pressure and wait and pull away the spider web. Now with all the legs secured down and with the cute little pearls, your jewelry case is now complete with the mother spider protecting her baby eggs, just like you're protecting your jewels. On to the next project. DIY number 2 is a custom notebook. We will be using the skeletons in this one as well as this universal adhesive. It's basically like E6000, so yeah, it's going to be really useful in adhering it. Let's grab one of those skeletons and take him out of the plastic. He's pretty thin, so that's perfect for what I want on my notebook. Clean him up, make sure that there's no excess plastic, because that's annoying. I don't like excess plastic. I want it to be as perfect as it can be for a DIY project. And cutting off this little circly part at the top, he's not an ornament. Now I'm going to fill him in. Well, I don't know why it's a him. I'm filling him in with the glue, and it's just all over. And you want to make sure it gets deep into the crevices, and you'll see why in a second. So just spreading it all out and closing the cap. Now very carefully grab him and center him on your notebook, or not, don't have to center it, and press down lightly, and I mean lightly. Me personally, I really want him to be stained onto the notebook, so I'm going to be pushing him down really hard. And if you have excess glue coming out, go ahead and wipe that up with like a napkin or something before it dries, because once it's on there, it is on there. You cannot get it off. Add a black gel pen and start writing your words down. And I'm going to be using a hot glue stick in the color of bright pink. It's actually glitter pink. And now I'm going to use the hot glue gun to actually write the words. Now these words do not have to be anything important or anything crazy. Here I'm using the words "don't be brain dead" because this is an inspirational sketchbook and it's going to be fun. Now don't worry if the words or the letters are not centered or perfect. This is kind of like creepy, cute, kind of pastel goth. And go until you are done or make designs. Feel free to draw on it, but I want to do the words "don't be brain dead." And just pick away this fly hairs or don't, but me, I'm taking away the stray hairs. This is the notebook completed. You can see the full writing and the skeleton is firmly pressed onto the notebook and it's done. Hooray! My last project for this video is a light up choker. This is going to be very quick and easy. Cut a ribbon double the length of your neck. Grab some extra pieces of cardboard. I'm recycling here. This was actually a piece from one of the other pieces, like the LED light set. So just cut it into strips that is thinner than the lace that you are using. And that way this doesn't pop out on top of it. I'm also using this black ribbon on top of it. This is actually going to be what ties the choker and choking me. So yeah, make sure it's a really long piece. So now take your choker piece and hot glue it. I made this mistake and I should have totally sewn down the choker first and then hot glued it. But you can do it in this order, which I think is actually did work better. But you know, to each his own. Make sure not to press too hard, otherwise you're going to get hot glue bubbles coming out of the lace and you definitely do not want that. So lightly press. So make sure you get the ends really well. You don't want it to come undone and you want it to be very stable. And that's also one of the main reasons that you have it. Now if you have a little bit of extra time, peel out any of the extra spider hairs before this step. And that is adding the cardboard pieces. Now add the cardboard pieces to the side of the fabric or the side of the lace that is the most covered in glue. So that's like probably the back side at this point. So glue the cardboard piece. This is actually like poster board-esque kind of cardboard material, so don't worry. Or you can use interfacing. I highly recommend like really thin cardboard or cardstock or interfacing. And you know, just go all the way down your choker and make sure it's sturdy because you're going to be supporting a battery pack. And boy, it was a little bit heavier than I anticipated. So yeah, make sure to pull away your fly spider web hairs and so it doesn't get stuck to the edge of any of the lace. You want this to be very clean. And make sure you get those edges too. You want those to be extremely secure. But we're going to make it even better secure because we're going to be adding extra pieces of cardboard on it. So once you finish adding all of your cardboard, find a middle point of that really long black piece of ribbon, the second piece of ribbon, and find the middle point of the choker and glue those sides together. So I just kind of eyeballed this part, but it turned out fine anyways. So just add a little bit of hot glue and put the middle points together. There is no really wrong side of my ribbon, but if you have a shiny side, I highly recommend putting that on the back. That way when it's against your neck, it's really soft. And make sure to press the black ribbon on top of it so it covers all sides and it does not show the interfacing. So yeah, it'll end up looking like this. It's really nice and thick and super sturdy and you can't see any of that white fabric anymore. You can see a little bit of hot glue, but hey, that's gonna get covered in lights and no one will pay attention to that. So now it's time to grab your lights. And this is a basic choker that I did differently from my other videos. So feel free to use that for a different choker. But this, since we're supporting a battery pack, it's really important that it's really sturdy. Now figure out which point you want your battery pack to be on. Make sure that your on battery switch is on the side where you can actually turn it off and on without having to take your choker off. And if you have a lot of extra cording like mine does, I wrapped it with like a piece of string and I'm going to glue that down to the top piece that's attached so that it won't get stuck when I'm trying to put it on the necklace. So once you found your spot that you want, make sure to triple check where to glue it down because if you glue it in the wrong direction, you're going to hate life. So check it really quickly and then place it firmly down. And I mean, slide the battery pack back in and press down even harder. At this point, go ahead and turn on your lights and start figuring out a configuration for your lights on how you want them to be put down. And then I used a combination of both the hot glue, sewing it down, and the universal glue. And I highly recommend using like E6000, but like for real, I should have done this step first, like after putting the fabric together. So yeah, this is what a finished looks like after I used all those glue. And I even glued that little silver piece onto the battery pack. So done, it just looks like there's a bunch of black, like bat beads on it, but it looks amazing. So if it's on, it's like super bright and it's like blinding to the camera. So yeah, that's not a great idea. I am in love with the things that I've made. I love this notebook. It is so cute and it's just as creepy as it is. It's so me and it's very inspiring. Don't be brain dead, like come on. And like I actually have this for traveling as well. It is such a smart idea. It's recycling and I'm not throwing away any ribbon scraps. You can use ribbon scraps, fabric scraps, lace scraps even to do this. And if you want, you can go the extra mile and add padding inside here. Right now I am traveling, so I don't have all the pieces that I made with me to review and show you, but leave me a comment down below if you want to see them, or just say hi to me. Make sure to follow me on social media, and like they say in Danish, hi hi. That means bye bye.